The NBA Finals kicked off last night, everybody. And as boring as the playoffs have been for me this year because of many, many, many blowouts and just a boring style of basketball, I couldn't help but get sucked into this last night because we had a buzzer beater, everybody, in a finals game. Something I would call a Jordan-esque moment as a child of the 90s. As you can see on the first slide here for basketball, if we're up and ready, we have a 111-110 victory for the Road Warriors, the Indiana Pacers here. And you can see it's Tyrese Halliburton who is caught in midair, about to let the shot go. And it fell down. Pacers win by 1. It's always exciting when you see a buzzer beater in the NBA playoffs, especially the NBA Finals. And it's also nice that we have some new blood in there this year, even though I know Indiana and Oklahoma City are not the biggest markets. And the NBA is probably like, oh, God, why isn't it New York and L.A.? It's fun for the fans, I think, to see some different teams out there and, some different colors. You like the Pacers jerseys. But I want to get into this for a little bit. If you flip to the next slide, SportsCenter posted teams were 0-182 in the NBA Finals entering Thursday during this scenario. Teams, when trailing by 9+ points in the final 3 minutes of an NBA Finals game since 1971, were 0-182. They are now 1-82. Or 1-182 because the Pacers did it. They came back from this huge deficit on the road with less than 3 minutes left in the game. And boy, this just tells you and continues to prove over and over again that it ain't over until it's over, everybody.
Till the buzzer kicks in.
You got to hear that buzzer.
Yeah.
Well, as you can see, they trailed by 15 on the next slide. And this was just another look at that buzzer beater. You can see all the fans are just waiting there. In anticipation, hoping that ball does not go through the net, and they were about to all be disappointed. So congratulations to the Indiana Pacers, but I got to get into this, Nika, because look at the next slide. This is my problem with basketball today in general and why I just can't spend a majority of my time watching it. I saw this, and I counted up all these little dots, and I double-checked my stats on the actual box score for you guys. But on the left, you can see we have the Pacers, and on the right, we have Oklahoma City. So the Pacers in this game were 18 of 39 from three-pointer. They took 39 threes in this game, and they hit 46% of them, 18. That's not bad. That's really respectable and actually really good from three-point. But that's a lot of three-point attempts, right? And if you add that up, 18 times 3 is 54. That's 54 of their points out of 111. That's about half come via the long ball. Oklahoma City, 30 three-pointers attempted. So not quite as many, but still a lot.
That's a lot.
They hit 11. That's 37% of their threes. It's still respectable for my era of basketball, the 90s. And this is too much. This is too much long-distance shooting. This is what's making the game boring. And this is where I think Moneyball has ruined sports in some ways, because even though Moneyball is a baseball movie, let's not pretend that stats and statisticians haven't refigured and convened ways to change other sports in this same time. And basketball is one of them that's happened right before our eyes and has become boring. Because of the fact that statisticians are like, well, just chuck up more threes. It doesn't matter if you hit less of them. You make up for it with the amount of points you score. Because
I think that was the idea behind it when they changed the rules. They wanted the games to go to high-scoring games, endings.
And it changes the momentum, like if you're able to have a shot that counts for more points. And
sure, but it makes the game boring.
Well, when you shoot this many of them, it does. And
there's no defense.
Well, I think they just shoot whenever they can,
Exactly. They're just chucking the ball. They're not shooting. They're not playing basketball.
This wasn't one of the more high-scoring games we've seen, like as far as 110 and 111. True. But you bring up a good point, and when I saw how many threes were taken last night, the kid in me immediately went back to 1992. And of course, the most famous playoff moment from one of my childhood heroes, Michael Jordan, the shoulder shrug. Most people that don't even follow NBA and know the history of it know of the Michael Jordan shoulder shrug. And that's the game where he got scalding hot from three-point land in the first half against the Trailblazers and hit 6 3-pointers. How do I know that? Because I went and clipped the box score a second ago, and I did it to make a point on this episode. Nika, can you flip to that?
Sure.
It says the final 122-89 Bulls. I want to point out the Bulls scored more points than the Pacers did last night. And the Pacers hit 18 3-pointers in that game. But look at this box score, Nika. If you follow it through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns over, you'll see 3-pointers, and then the 6th column, you'll see 3-pointers attempted. And we got both the Portland Trailblazers and the Chicago Bulls to compare. This is a 1992 NBA Finals Game 1, 33 years ago from now. 6 3-pointers attempted for the Trailblazers the whole game, and
That's it.
15 for the Bulls. And 10 of them were from Michael Jordan, who got scalding hot and shrugged his shoulders like, I don't know what's going on with me tonight.
It's the steak.
15, well, probably. I mean, it was the steak every night. I mean, the guy rarely didn't show up. 6 plus 15 is 21. 30 plus 39 is 69. They're shooting over 3 times as many 3-pointers as they did 30 years ago.
Yeah. And look at the way the game is played nowadays and how it used to be played.
If you go watch that game, by the way, it is fast-paced, action-packed the whole time in the first half. The action did slow down a little bit in the second half because the Bulls built a big lead and they started to run clock already. And they knew they didn't have to. Plus, they tightened up their defense and they held Portland to just 18 points in the third quarter of that game. So after they were hot in the first half and blew them out by 15, they then tighten the screws on defense. They didn't stand a chance. They won by over 30 points. Anyways, I thought that was fascinating and eye-opening. 21 total threes in the game. 21.
It's a lot.
It's a sad state of affairs. And, oh, by the way, you can still score more points without the long ball. I think they proved it. It's time to get your ass in the gym and run more ladders and get in better shape so you can run up and down the floor every night and play a fast-paced style of basketball. And, oh, by the way, if you don't know what that is, go check out the show Showtime on HBO Max about the Lakers.
Okay.
Because you will learn how the fast break and how the fast-paced style of basketball was invented in 1980 and how you're ruining basketball for me. I want it to be fast and action-paced and violent a little bit. I'm sorry. You gave it to me and then you take it away. And I'm not buying it.
Doesn't work like that.